This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to WCFL DolFans Talk. I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning this morning. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. We're going to be talking whatever pops up, a little bit of Miami Dolphins and other things. First, let me bring in our wonderful co-host, Mr. DolFan Winners.
What's going on, everybody? Peace, love, fans up to everyone. What's going on, Papa Paul? What's the deal?
It's a great day. First, I just want to send our prayers and condolences out to Kyrie Jackson, Minnesota Vikings rookie who was killed Friday night in an accident. He was a passenger in a car and hit supposedly by a drunk driver. We don't know all the details yet, but either way, our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. Another young man down in his prime, didn't even get to play in an NFL game yet. Vamos Gatos, thank you for joining us. There's no reason with the mass transit we have, Uber, Lyft, taxis, everything we have everywhere, there's no reason anybody should be driving drunk these days. Call a friend.
Absolutely. I second that, man. Like, you got so many different transportations. Good morning, Vamos. Definitely thank you for the support. But you have so many different types of transportation in this day and age. Don't take that risk, man. You know, sit there and have a designated driver or just leave your car there and find a way home and then come back and get it the next day or something. Instead of trying to go behind the wheel and trying to say, well, I can make it. I'm only this allowed or I'm only at this amount or this or that, you know, just please. I have had a best friend that died in a car crash and he was the sober one. He was driving back home actually, and a gentleman crashed right into my friend head on, and the gentleman that crashed into my friend was high on cocaine and drunk. So please, you know, think before you go out and do what you're doing, because you have to have the responsibility not just for yourself but for others as well. So this is I want to send my thoughts and prayers out to the Minnesota Vikings community, to the organization, to all the fans, and especially his to his family and his close friends. Definitely, it's something very sad that you don't ever want to hear.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely sad, and we shouldn't be hearing it this day and age, really. I think people would learn by now. Other than that, WCFL, under my name right now, if you're on Facebook, Paul E. Ferguson, you'll see in parentheses Papa Paul. We have a raffle going on. Spot 1, the first spot, will get team-issued pants that has number 17 in it, as seen in the photo. Spot 8 will get 11x16 Javon Holland photo in his rookie uniform before the number rule change. So he's wearing number 22, I think, in that one, yes. Then spot 23 will get a 16x20 signed Ronnie Brown photo. Spot 28 will get 2 different 8x10 signed Cater Kohu photos. Spot 55 will get 2 different 8x10 signed Jerome Baker photos, and spot 92 will get 1 8x10 Zach Sealer photo. All spots are $5 each, 6 for $25. It's a straight fill. We'll draw live on WCFL Dolphins Talk on July 17th, which is our 8:45 show, or when we have at least 100 spots filled if it doesn't get to at least 100 spots by July 17th.
Okay.
All the money on that will be going towards the team shirts we're doing for the Miami Dolphins team and alumni and coaches, and anything extra will be going towards Dolphins Challenge Cancer event. 100% of the money goes to all that. And if you haven't heard what we're talking about with the team shirts, we are having shirts made up where on the front of the shirts it says peace, love, and fins up family, and on the back of the shirts it's going to have all we are family, united we stand, with all the names of clubs and people that have donated for the shirts themselves. So and they'll be going out to the Miami Dolphins team. Yes, people are like, why are you giving football players shirts and stuff? Well, it's peace, love, and fins up is not only our motto, but it's what we stand for. And we're trying to show how united we are as a fan base with our team. You know, we're here to support our team, and that's what it's all about, unity at the same time. Anybody can get in on that if they want their name on the back of the shirt and be able to see their name on the back of a shirt that a football player could be wearing. Look at it that way. Other than that, it's the same old talk. You know, it is Tua going to get paid? That's a wait and see game. I mean, there's a lot of talk about it. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? We don't know. We have, 9 days left until the rookies report for training camp. And then 16 days left for when the veterans report for training camp. And then 24 days left. Wait, today's the 7th. It's 22 days left after that. Sorry. When open training camp starts. Anything to say, winners?
I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to the football season, and I'm looking forward to seeing what type of moves we're going to make. I'm looking forward to the hottest topic in the Miami Dolphins and the NFL is Tua going to get paid or not. I'm looking forward to all of it, but right now I'm just sitting there just going with the flow, seeing what's out there. I mean, it's not much that's going on, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't believe that we're literally 9 days away from rookies reporting. I can't believe that the veterans will be back a week after the rookies too. I mean, you don't ever want to rush time, but man, when you just get that feeling of football coming back, it's a great feeling, definitely.
Well, I just opened up an email with articles in it, and this one article I'm not going to agree with. And it states Chris Greer is fully dropping the ball with Tua in Dolphins negotiations.
Well, read the article.
As we have said, it's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
General manager Chris Greer is playing with Stephen Ross's money. He's also putting his entire franchise at risk of sliding back into the barrels of the AFC East. We can debate the merits of a Tua Tagovailoa extension all we want, but the Dolphins can't afford to go back to the drawing board to find someone to lead the franchise. I will agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
If Greer and the Dolphins don't think Tagovailoa is worth the amount of money he is asking for, they need to ask themselves why. If they think he isn't a top quarterback in the NFL, then they should play him in 2024 and then move on. If they think he is capable, then there is no reason for them not to pay what he wants. An extra $5 million is nothing in the NFL these days. Okay. Tua Tagovailoa should be paid the current market value. When Trevor Lawrence was giving Joe Burrow money, the bar for Tagovailoa was raised. It doesn't matter if he has less yardage, fewer playoff wins, or less of anything comparison. The reality is that Greer waited and the market was reset. Before I go on, I just got to say, you got to look at Trevor Lawrence's contract, though. He doesn't have the guaranteed money that the other players have. He's got to prove himself and get certain goals in order to get all the money that's in that contract. Okay. Had he had got a new deal done last year, he would be paying a lot less now. Had he done a deal shortly after Jared Goff was extended, the Jaguars would have looked more like fools instead of Greer waiting so long. Has cost them, and it has complicated contract talks. The Dolphins technically can franchise tag Tagovailoa ahead of the 2025 season, but there'd be worry if he becomes a camp holdout or not. The Dolphins could try and replace him, but let's be real for a moment. Like him or love him, Tagovailoa is dynamic and fits the Mike McDaniel scheme. Waiting until next season won't help either side of the negotiations if he plays as good or better than last year. It will cost Greer and Ross a lot more money if he fails miserably, gets hurt, or suffers another concussion. The Dolphins are back to square one without a quarterback.
I think.
Dolphins.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish.
The Dolphins need to commit here. There's more. If you got something to say, go ahead, unless you want me to finish the article.
No, I want you to finish the article, and then I'll go.
Okay. Tagovailoa may not be the best quarterback in Dolphins history, but he is the best quarterback they have had since Dan Marino left. And if anyone thinks the options for Miami are better via trade or the free agent market, they haven't spent a lot of time poring over the players available. The Dolphins can't draft well enough to think they can pour themselves into some blockbuster trade to move up in the draft to get a top QB prospect, and any quarterback on the market will want to get paid like a franchise quarterback. Tagovailoa may not be perfect, but he is perfectly fine with what Miami needs right now. The Dolphins playing hardball with Tua Tagovailoa is a mistake. Greer needs to pick his battles better. I get that he may not want to overpay for a quarterback who has a concussion history and he has only one full season under his belt after being in the league for 3 previous years, but at the same time, Greer is playing a game that he can't win. He threw money to Byron Jones and Xavier Howard and has given horrible contracts to guys like Teron Armstead while allowing players like Christian Wilkins and Robert Hunt leave. Tagovailoa can sit it out if he wants to, and Greer can do nothing about it. Why? Because Greer doesn't have a backup plan with his quarterback. And his quarterback knows it. The Dolphins are only going to go as far as Tagovailoa will take them, and if he isn't on the field, Greer has a lot of decisions to make moving forward. That is it.
So what I will say is, and I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I wish it was more people on the panel, just me and you, because I'm going to stir the pot. If Chris Greer doesn't get the job done with Tua's contract, I think he gets fired. And this is why. The person in the article said a very pivotal point. If we sit there and think that there's a nice soup bowl of quarterbacks or athletes in that position that we can just go pick from and just put them in and say, oh, it'll work, and we're highly mistaken. he is the best quarterback since we've had Dan Marino. That is a fact. Statistics shows that. His play might not be as a Dan Marino type because you cannot compare apples with oranges. Tua's Tua and Marino is Marino. But at the end of the day, they are correct. If we wait and we don't get anything done within, I say, training camp or by preseason, and they decide to let talks go until after the end of the season, we are going to be in a debacle. And the last thing you want is to have a very nice core defense. And this is hypothetically speaking, a very good core defense that gets you the play that they need you to get. The special teams comes out and be spectacular and better than what we've been criticizing them for the past. And then your offense is sitting there rolling and everything. And then all of a sudden, you come to a point where the heart and soul of your offense is not satisfied and not getting taken care of. Then we're going to have a problem. And then that's where we're going to go through the BS. So I kind of will say this. If Tua does not get his money and he plays hardball, his agent decides to tell him to play hardball, it is going to be very bad for our franchise. And we will be the laughing stock of the NFL because we have all these fancy toys around him. And we all know that he has to be that dude. Now, I'm not saying that nobody can't come in here and pass the ball and make sure things are good or whatever. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is, if you want the man that you sat there and said that was the future, going to be the future of your franchise to stay here, I think you need to get this done very, very soon and not make it a major distraction. Because as time gets closer to training camp, this is going to be the question of questions. They're not going to ask any other question but the Tua situation. And players are going to start getting sick of it. And coaches are going to start getting sick of it. So we'll see how it plays out. Like Johnny O always tells us, it's a wait. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that. That's all we can do.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, you know, I mean, personally, do I want to see the deal get done? Yes. I think a lot of Miami Dolphin fans want to see the deal get done. But it has to make sense to the what's the name? Asking, hey, Maria, how you doing? It's good to hear from you. It's got to make sense for both sides. It's got to make sense for the Miami Dolphins, and it's got to make sense for Tua and his agent. So we shall see. It's like I'll wait and see.
Yeah. Real quick, talk about something. I'm going to send Maria the link and see if she has time to join in.
That would be nice. Yeah.
No, I would love to I would love to see the contract done in a way, but at the same time, like you said, as long as it's makes sense and protects the team in the sense of if he gets injured again where it's one of those where it's a severe concussion or because I was on TFTG the other night and we talked about it. I think Miami also made out at least one of those concussions to be a lot worse than what it was.
Right.
We all know how we all know how especially last year we saw how Miami was very protective of their players, trying to prevent injuries being into major injuries.
Correct.
Which is understandable. So, but we still need to protect the team that if something, hopefully it doesn't. Here's our middle-aged man, John O'Hanlon.
What's up, John? Hey, what's up, bro? How are you?
Hey, went to breakfast, just got in.
Thank you for joining. Yeah, we got to protect the team from if anything does happen to Tua, God forbid, that we're not paying him for the next 5-10 years, whatever it is, even though he's not playing or anything because of an injury. So, yeah, it's going to take time to get the contract right where both sides are happy.
Right.
There she is. Long time no see. Miss Maria.
What's going on?
What's
Hey
up,
guys.
Chris?
Hey there. It's just you
Thank you.
usually are on Wednesday nights, and I'm playing poker on Wednesday nights.
Well, we started doing shows Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. Saturdays at 6 to 7 p.m., Sundays 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., and Mondays 5 to 6 p.m. because those shows are actually on Roku TV and Amazon Fire Stick under Hurdle Sports Network.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm just getting ready to go to work, so I figured I'd jump on for a minute.
Well, we appreciate it.
How's everybody doing?
I miss you, Mama Maria.
Gotcha. Right back at you. 9 more weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be at the whole first week of training camp.
I'll be at training camp every day, so I'm looking very forward. So,
Yeah, I'll be there the whole first week. So the 29th through the 5th, 4th or 5th, and then actually the 3rd, because the 4th I'm going to be coming home possibly. It depends on my doctor's appointments I have. If I can put them off to the following week, I'll be staying up through the first preseason game.
awesome.
So it all depends on doctor's appointments and if how many puppies we get rid of. If we only have 1 or 2 puppies left by then, we'll be good.
There you go.
So how's Mama Maria been?
Mama Maria's okay. I'm looking forward to the season.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this whole situation with the Tua contract and Tyreek and his legal issues? Like, what's your thoughts right now on everything that's going on?
Personally, I think it's a mess. My personal opinion. I mean, they want him to be our franchise quarterback. Just sign the deal, get it over with. Because you're right, everybody's talking. Why are we not signing? What's going on behind the scenes? It's ridiculous. It really is. Just get it done and just let us know we've got a season coming up that we've got a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. It really is stupid. I mean, you're signing everything else. You're signing everyone else. You're giving everybody else all this kind of money, but you're not doing it with your quarterback.
Well, I agree with you, and it's as John has said, we've all said, it's a double-edged sword on whether we sign him now or at the end of the season or right before the season starts. We have a quarterback this year.
I understand we have a quarterback, but the thing is he going to do what he needs to do, knowing that we've dangled this carrot in front of him?
Well, if he doesn't do what he needs to do, it's just going to hurt him in the long run.
Yeah, it will. I still feel, though, they should just do what they have to do. Just get it done. You want him to be your franchise quarterback. So what is the situation? Money? You know what? You got money for Formula One. You got money for friggin' everything else. What about our football team?
I think that's the big question right there, what you just said. Do they want him as our franchise quarterback?
That's what they've been saying for the past 3 years.
I understand that, and I agree with you on that. But as John has said many a times, we don't know what goes on in that office. We don't know what's being said in that office. And yes, he is the best thing we've had since Dan Marino.
Yep.
The problem is they can come out and say whatever they want in the media. I mean, me personally, I think Mike McDaniel sold. That's his quarterback. I don't know whether Greer is. I don't know if Ross is. I don't know. They both could love him. They both could want somebody else. They both could want and wait and see what he does and then sign him to the big contract. I think McDaniel's the only one that I believe is 100% sold on Tua.
Well, he's been sold on Tua from the time he got on his friggin' airplane.
Right.
He's said that.
Yeah. And It's like you said, John, we don't know what goes on in that office. And not everybody at the Dolphin Stadium is privy to what only the people in that office knows what goes on in that office and what's said in that office. And it kills us sometimes because we would love to know a little bit of what's said in there.
Sure.
What are they thinking?
You'd love to know whether the Dolphins have offered $50 million and he turned it down, or if they're asking for $60 million and the Dolphins are trying to get him down to 54, or, but we don't have that information. We can only go by what gets leaked
Leaks
or
out.
gets said, which you can only believe part of that because not all that's true.
Well, and that's hearsay.
Right.
Just like in the court, that's all hearsay. And as I've said many times, I don't believe anything I hear and only half of what I see.
Yep.
Well, we'll see.
That's
I
it.
just hope it gets done soon.
John and Maria both, I appreciate y'all supporting the shirt project I'm working on. We've got over $700 so far going towards that, and I will have shirts by the first day of training camp to start handing out.
That's good.
That's great.
And I got them all the way up to 5X. And I got to get you a shirt made, Maria. I had shirts made for the original cast. But I know you have your poker and you're busy on other things on Wednesday nights. Haven't seen you in a while.
Now I know on Sunday mornings, because I go in, even if I put you on while I'm driving to work and stuff, I usually am in for 10:15 on Sundays. So now I know. And Saturday nights, I'm done work by 6:00, so I could hopefully hop on Saturday nights.
Okay. We had shirts made up, and do you want a t-shirt or a polo shirt? I actually got John a polo shirt for him.
Yep, he likes his polos. I know that very well.
And John, I will pick up what I can at the yard sale this year too.
Yeah, if you get there and there's a yard sale, just call me.
Well, usually they have the yard sale either 1 to 2 days.
The yard sale is only on Member Day.
Last year was 2 days. Last year
we were very upset because they did it while we were all in Canton.
Yeah, but they had it actually the year before that they had it 2 or 3 days. The year before that.
Well, that's like in regular season. 2 years ago they had like 2 or 3 of them for home games. Last year I think they only had 1.
See, I didn't know they had any yard sales during regular season.
Yeah, over by the store, across from the store, they set up over there. And last year, I believe they only had 1. I only ever saw it 1 time.
Yeah, and it was a lot of winter stuff.
Yeah, it was all winter stuff.
What I'm going to do this year, because like the last couple of years, if they do it again this year, they have 1 bag that is strictly for 3X and bigger. And you can fill the bag up for $45. And I'll go in and get 2 or 3 bags if I can, or just go in 2 or 3 times, whatever, or have other people with me. And I'll fill them bags up with all the 3X and 4X and 5X. And I'll turn around and sell them at cost, or what they would cost there if you bought them individually, which is $10 a piece on most of those shirts. But it's because there's a lot of people that can't get there that are the bigger people, like Stephen D for one. He takes a 5X. And I got 5X shirts. I got Tony getting 5X shirts for me because of Stephen D and other people who want the 5X shirts. So we have football players that definitely need 5X shirts.
Oh yeah. Armstead.
Well, Armstead might be a 4X, but
the new kid Paul.
Oh, he definitely
might be an AX.
he might be a 5X, but might have to be like triple long.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5X belly shirt.
Damn.
But I appreciate the help of everybody that's been helping out and everything. Germany Dolphins Club or Miami, whatever it is, Miami Dolphins Germany.
Germany.
They actually are buying some shirts for themselves as well as donating for the cause. They sent in $160 total.
Nice.
Thank you.
So, and I'm going to actually send those shirts home with Dirk or whoever comes over for fan club weekend instead of sending them through the mail, because it's not the mail over there. They got to pay you got to claim
Customs
them
fees.
custom
And they gotta-
fees, and it's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, it's always better if you get guys from Europe and stuff, whether it's the UK or Switzerland or Germany. It's always better if they're here just to give them the stuff because they can pack it in their suitcases and just take it
Yeah.
with them.
Well,
You got to send it through customs. It's a pain.
And because I've sent some things over there through custom, and I try and put the cheapest price I can on some of those things, and because they, the customs over, I don't know about Germany, but I know the customs in the UK is really bad. They will actually look things up to get the value of them.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to describe in the paperwork you do exactly what it is. So yeah, it can be. They can end up paying a lot more than what they actually paid for the item.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ridiculous. But anyway, we all can't wait for our football. It's been wonderful. It's great. But right now we're going to do a quick commercial break with our wonderful Chef Jew.
What's up, y'all? This is Chef Jew. Looking for a great chef for your next catering party, private party, office party, etc. with welcome watering meals and desserts? Let Chef Jew Catering and Sweet Treats take care of it for you at an affordable price. Call me at 786-804-8096. Also reach me at chefjewcatering@gmail.com. Direct message on Facebook and Instagram at Chef Juice Catering. Chef Juice Catering and Sweet Treats, food with a passion. We do it all.
Okay, now we have someone joining us. Let's bring on Sharif.
What's up, Sharif?
What's up, brother?
Hey, how's everyone? Ends up. Yeah, man. I was at work last night during the broadcast, so we were talking about offensive linemen and centers, but I wasn't able to make it in. So this morning I'm gonna hang out with my Dolphin fans.
We appreciate
being here.
One of the other articles I was looking at is just pulled up in emails. Miami Dolphins defensive tackle power rankings. We know who sits at the top. Let's see what they have to say. Miami Dolphins are set to enter training camp later this month with 11 defensive tackles on their roster. Dolphins initially carried only 5 players at that position on their roster. They rotated defensive ends, but the core was Raekwon Davis, Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer, Deshaun Hand, and Brandon Pilley. Manuel Ogbah was also rotated at defensive tackle as well. Heading into the 2024 season, a lot has changed at that position. With Ogbah, Wilkins, and Davis gone, a new defensive front is about to take the field alongside Sealer. Here are the pre-camp power rankings as we see it. Number 11, Leonard Payne, an undrafted rookie. Number 10, Mario Kendricks, undrafted rookie. Isaiah Mack at number 9, entering his 5th year. Number 8, Jonathan Harris, entering his 5th year. Number 7, Brandon Pilley, entering his 2nd year. Number 6, Deshaun Hand, entering his 7th year. Number 5, Neville Gallimore, entering his 5th season. Number 4, Thierry Tart, entering his 5th season. Number 3, Benito Jones, entering his 4th season. Number 2, Calais Campbell, entering his 17th season. Number 1, Zach Sealer, entering his 7th season. Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot of experience for the most part.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, Calais Campbell, they have him ranked at number 2.
Calais Campbell.
Calais Campbell. I say, I'm sorry if I say it wrong. I don't pronounce the S in all of them because sometimes people don't pronounce the S on something like that. I don't know.
True.
I'm going to cut you guys off. Fins up. I've got to go get ready for work.
Fins up, Mama Marie. We miss you. We love you. We'll see you soon.
I'll see you in a week and a half at training camp. Well, 2 weeks.
Or next Saturday on the show or next Sunday morning.
You got it.
Love you, honey.
Love you guys.
Later.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how they actually pronounce it. You know, everyone pronounces a little bit different. It depends on the derivative and how his mama pronounces it is how it should be pronounced. But let's see. What did it say? Isaiah Mack has spent time with the Titans, Patriots, and Ravens, and the last stop could be his best chance to make the Dolphins roster. Mack was on a Ravens defense coached by Anthony Weaver, so familiarity is a key and could help. Still, his lack of game experience could be a problem. He has 1 start in 25 career games. Okay.
Well, they don't necessarily need him to start, but be in the rotation and think about it.
Being in the rotation and a good backup, yes.
And if he's been around that long and he hasn't played a ton, it means he's probably pretty healthy. So that's an advantage.
Plus, he's played under Coach Weaver.
Right. Yeah, he lacks game experience, but, that'll come with time.
Yep. Jonathan Harris has 4 seasons in the NFL under his belt, and he has started 9 games of the 33 he has played in. He has spent time with the Bears and 3.5 seasons with the Broncos before joining the Dolphins. Harris has an uphill battle to make the roster, but this year the defensive front is wide open, and Harris has some experience on the edge that will help. We'll find out soon enough if he'll be able to make a splash here or not. True.
What I've been able to, do some analytics on who's come in and in terms of body type,
yes,
what position they would take over, and then what we're implementing. Right, number one, I think we as the fans know what the defense will be because we've seen it for 3 years with Patrick Graham and Brian Flores. So we've seen the defense. Some of the new players who are coming in, Nick Needham knows the defense. Ramsey knows the defense. All the defensive linemen basically know the defense. The linebackers, I think Brooks and Long probably would be new to it, but it's basically going back to amoeba. And so when we talk about 3 down linemen, 3-4 on base defense on first down, I think a Jonathan Harris on the edge with his body type is fine. And then you have Calais Campbell opposite him on the other edge. And now you have Benito Jones or Neville Gallimore or I'm sorry, Benito Jones or Thierry Tart fighting for that what they call nose tackle right over the center. So I think the depth is definitely there. And we're not even talking about the defensive end linebackers like Kamara or Chop. We're just talking about the depth that we have playing the 3-4. And I think those guys will battle it out and the cream will come to the crop. And I think Dolphins fans are going to be surprised of the competitive nature that was created by Greer bringing them in. And remember now, you have an Alba, even Quinn, who we got from the Rams a couple of years ago. When you bring these guys in, they can actually get a next contract. Ogba did it. Shaq Lawson had a chance to do it. And so you've seen guys who were brought in who didn't take the opportunity at hand, and a guy like Ogba who did. So I think one or two of these guys are going to do the same thing, and cream is going to rise to the crop. And I think it's good competition, and I think they're going to be surprised by the run defense this year.
Well, yeah, it's a wait and see. Pillay will likely find a path to the practice squad again this year. His lone NFL season was with the Dolphins, where he spent most of his time on the practice squad. He played in 4 games last year, recording 2 tackles. Well, we needed him. We had to pull a lot of people in from the practice squad and elsewhere last year. Deshaun Hand, I like Deshaun Hand. He's listed at number 6. Despite playing last season with Miami, Hand had only started 11 games of 47 in his 6 previous seasons. He has played with the Lions and Titans in addition to Miami. Working in his favor is the fact that he was here last season and has 71 combined tackles on his resume, including 4 sacks.
Well, that's what training camp's for, to see where these guys gel, what guys work well with each other. Yeah. Listen, you could have 2 guys make the team just because they work well together.
Exactly. If we can get 2 of these guys working well together, like Steeler and Wilkins did last year, and another one of these guys working well with Sealer this year, I mean, you got 4 guys right there that are just great rotation.
Right.
That's the big question mark. That's the big question mark that I have, because I mean that's the question mark that everybody should have for this defense. That big boy Wilkins has had.
I think it's a good concern. But a lot of people say $27 million that you could have given to Christian, you spread it out and brought in 5 guys.
No, I agree.
That's not going to work. Yeah.
Well, we don't know if it's going to work at the same time, because every team has some sort of different scheme, and what some players can do well with one team may not be able to do well at all with another team, or vice versa.
Right. Well, I mean, that's like Wilkins going to the Raiders. If they don't put somebody next to him that he works well with, he's not going to have the numbers that he had.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's where I got to really sit down at training camp this year and take my notes, look at what is actually going on, and really take my notes on what's going on, especially with the defense. See who's out there together, see what looks like it's working to me, even though training camp doesn't show us 1/10 of what they see everywhere, all the coaches see and everything.
Well, from what I've been able to diagnose, listening to Kyle Krabs, particularly Alpha Ortega, Omar, these are people like you, Papa, who will be sitting down and who's already sat down at off season and mini camps. And so what I've been able to nurture from what I've heard from them is that it's 3-4. Now, if we all could remember, it was a tough time when it was first down, and then you quick huddle Brian Flores, because Brian Flores stayed big on first down, 3-4 base. So if a team tries to quick huddle us 2nd down and 7, we're going to have to now run big guys off the field and get in the package to match. And I hope Weaver's ready for that kind of stuff, because with Weaver, intent is to stay small on first down. So if you do quick huddle us on 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6, we are already in a base package that is equipped for 2nd down, quick huddle, because we're already small. I don't know if that makes sense, but Weaver is doing it the reverse way of Flores, staying light on first down, and then if you quick huddle us or if you go in a shotgun package, we're ready for you.
Well, it's a wait and see game, Sharif. Like we've always say, John says it all the time. He's drilled it into our head so much we say it every other word. Wait and see, wait and see. We love you, John.
as fans, that's all we could do is wait and see. Wait and see who makes the 53-man roster. Wait and see who the cuts are. Wait and see, for contracts. We're just fans.
That's going to be one of the biggest things is seeing who on the 27th of August, who is cut down to the 53. There's going to be a lot of head turns and stuff.
Well, I can tell you that for a fact now. That it's just speaking to, I had the opportunity to speak with Alf, listening to him, and there was a guy called Cam Brown. There's a guy called Saron Neal, and there's another kid, Elijah Campbell. There are I think even Crossman, we want him fired as a special teams coach, but I'm telling you, I am looking forward for us to be in top 10 in special teams. The Saron Neal, Cam Brown, and Isaiah Campbell are top notch in terms. One is a Pro Bowler in Saron Neal. Cam Brown is damn near a Pro Bowler. I look forward to the upgrade. And why am I saying this? Because Crossman had trash to deal with, and then even after the injury, some of the special teamers had to take snaps. So I look forward for better output.
Well, plain and simple, I sure as hell hope so, Sharif, because we've had shit for special teams the last 3 years, and he's still there.
Facts. I mean, well, I'll say this. I mean, the special teams thing, and I'd love to elaborate on this. And I mean, we got 13 minutes left. I'm excited, especially with the speed that we have on this team for the new rules of the special teams now. The speed that we have, if we have great blockers, we could score at any given time. I agree with you. Any given time. That's going to be a nucleus now. That is actually going to be an increment, a major increment in the game of football where everybody forgets about the punt returns and the kick return. Now, with the new rules, you have 8 seconds left on the clock. Your team is down by 4, and they got to kick the ball off to you. It's not the original way now. Now it's the XFL way. That's going to be very interesting.
And what's going to be really interesting is to see, especially the first 4 weeks, to see what teams really are able to figure it out and do what they need to do. Because I'll be honest with you. Go ahead. You're only going to have maybe a handful of teams in the first 4 weeks that figure it out, and then everybody else is going to have to start emulating off of them.
I'm piggyback off of what you just said. I mean, you're absolutely right with everything you said. And what I like about the new rule changes, these teams that you think that can't come back and win can use that to their advantage if you can't stop it. So that's what I'm really liking now, where you're going to have these real tight games where their offense might not be moving, but their defense and their special teams is carrying them to a win. I like this concept. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out for the upcoming season. Actually preseason. I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like in preseason.
How you doing, Shake Money?
Going off what you said before, Winners, the head coaches now have a lot more responsibility at the end of a game. Time management. You don't want to be kicking the ball off with 12, 15, 18 seconds to go because of the new rules. So you may need that one extra first down to be able to run the clock out. Right. As before, you could kick it off, kick it through the end zone. They started at 25 and, there's only 8 seconds left. Well, 8 seconds left now. They may get out to the 50 or on the other side of the field, and now you got to start worrying.
Well, John, like we talked about last night, you and I talked about last night. I don't know if you caught any of the show at all last night, Winners. We're talking about McDaniel and being able to get that third and short, keep the run going with the third and short instead of these screen passes that are 5 yards back. And, 3rd and 1, we should be running the ball, not 75% of the time running the ball, not these little, as they said in the article I was reading, these little cute plays, these little cute pass plays. You're right. 3rd and short. We have a running back core right now, and we have not only 3 with speed, but then you have Brooks and Ingold that would be the short down power backs that you need.
Right.
There's no reason why we should be going to a fourth down on third and short.
Well, we'll see. I mean, that's something that I've said many a times on this platform and other platforms, where we're going to see how much improved McDaniel and his coaching will be in year 3. That is, now this is where I'm going to be very critical of our coach. I always give coaches 2 years to get their stuff together, their system together, and all that. This year, I'm going to be very critical of McDaniel.
I agree with you. And one of the things the article says is that he needs to stop abandoning the run.
Right, absolutely. I mean, you're all know that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, last year he averaged 4.8 yards per carry.
Right.
3 times at that, you're a first down every time.
At one point in time, it was higher than that.
I know it was.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the team averaged 4.6 yards a carry, I believe it was.
Yeah.
But I know Achan, we were talking about Achan as well. I mean, look how he didn't really even play the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the second or the first game he had only a handful, maybe 3 or 4 touches. And he didn't play the second game, I think it was. And then the third game is when he played and he really broke out. And then he still ended up missing like 4 other games.
Oh, no, he played the second game. He only had like 5 carries. He didn't have a lot of carries. He played against
then it was the first game that he didn't play then.
Right.
Okay, but then, he still missed like 4 other games because of injury. Mm-hmm. But he had over 800 yards. Imagine if he would have been healthy the whole year and what he could have done if he would have played all the games. But that's the thing with the whole stat, it's football. Someone's going to get hurt. You might have to sit out. But we have if we keep, I don't know how many, because right now there's 3, 4, 5, there's 6 running backs. Plus, I think even a UDFA running back. That's 7. I think they're only going to keep maybe 5 at the most. Because last year we had 4.
I think they keep 4 and probably have 1 on the practice squad.
Right.
So we talked about it, I said something about it last night. Jeff Wilson getting traded probably.
Mm-hmm. That's a strong possibility.
Because there's a lot of teams that need a running back.
We got 6 minutes left, gentlemen.
So, I mean, there's a lot of teams that need a running back, and it's anything's possible, and it's a wait and see game.
Absolutely.
After you and I talked last night, Papa Paul, when we were talking about the tush push, McDaniel, if you happen to see this, if you're listening, get Brooks or Ingold under center and have the other one behind him. You don't have to have Tua in there. It's 3rd and 1. Get Brooks or Ingold to learn how to take snaps, and the other one run up behind him and push him.
Exactly.
Use those 2 big bodies. Use their legs, their strength. Doesn't have to be Tua doing the tush push so he doesn't take any hits to the head. Let Brooks or Ingold do it, and the other one's behind pushing.
I agree.
Get Tyreek out of there on 3rd and 1 and put in a bigger receiver so you can run in motion and turn into that line and help push.
Or you just have a heavy package. Put your heavy package in there. You already know what it's about. You put in smite, so you can sit there and do a run play option with him or whatever. Something like something like I got a little like a little sweep or a little something quick. Like I in and out type.
Any of those things would be wonderful just to see. I hate seeing these 3rd and shorts, and then we have to go to 4th down.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to 4th down and short. It's like, oh my God, not again. I mean, you got to admit, it stresses you out when you're kind of.
It's a part of being a fan, Paul. Shit.
I understand, but
Listen. I think about you guys. Listen, I really do think about you guys when you are at the games because I'm at work screaming like a maniac, and my coworkers look at me like I'm fucking crazy every time.
well,
So
you're in the
trust me.
right place.
Yeah, like literally, you ain't never lied. Like literally. So they be like, man, what the fuck? I'm like, listen, y'all know how it goes down on Sundays. Y'all know not to bother me. Y'all know I'm gonna sit here and watch these games, even when I'm doing my salad bar. I'm gonna sit there and watch the game.
What's
So,
up, Ryan AP? Y'all guys in YouTube, make sure you hit the like button, please. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We appreciate you, everyone. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Sports Huddle Sports Network. Yeah, it's nail biter because even when you're at the game, like I sit on the rail, and I thank God I sit right on the rail because I'm squeezing that rail sometimes. Because otherwise I'd probably break my wife's hand or something, you know. It's crazy, but I love it. We love it. We love our Dolphins. We love the tailgate. And if y'all haven't been there, you know, if you're coming down in Miami to whether you're another team, a fan of another team or not, and you're coming down to Miami this year, check out East 12, East 22, Road 209, and join us for a big party. You'll find John and I there all the time. Well, if I don't get orange parking passes, you won't find me there that much.
Oh, stop. Just bring your wagon over, get everything there, and you could put it in Maria or Holly's car. You could sit with us.
We'll do what we can. Just reading Ryan AP's been nonstop. He watches dogs as he's a disabled vet, but he watches dogs as part time, and he's been watching dogs this whole weekend so he can get Eve coming up when she gets her shots and her health certificate.
right.
It's about time to give last thoughts, or are we just doing the quick goodbye this morning?
We're just doing a quick goodbye, man. I mean, I want to thank everybody for watching, and everybody. I appreciate everybody on all platforms. Don't forget, we come on tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. Sharif, we appreciate you coming by, brother. You are definitely one of the good guys that we like to hear your analysis every week, brother. So you're always welcome to come join us. You know that. And to anybody that's watching and listening, you guys are welcome to come on at any given time. Doesn't matter what fan base you are. Come on, give your in thoughts. You know, the door is always open. With that being said, for Papa Paul, for John O'Hallen, for Tom O'Gara and Ethan Steve, for our sister Pamela Dolphin, and to all Miami Dolphins worldwide, as always, peace, love, and fins up.
Fins up, everybody.
Have a good day, everybody.
Fins up.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.